Yes, we do have a Bigfoot group on Facebook, and it's called Mogollon Monster, Arizona's Bigfoot. And it's a growing group. It's growing very, very quickly. If you would like to join us on Facebook and discuss more about Arizona's Bigfoot and other Bigfoots, because we have lots of members, go to the description on this video and find the Facebook link and click on it and join up. It's social media, so we'll be able to discuss a lot of things. Many of you have expressed that you like the stories about the pioneers of early Arizona. And so I'm going to start pulling out a few of the campfire stories that were published in the Mogollon Monster, Arizona's Bigfoot by Susan Farnsworth. And these are my relatives, mostly, that took part in this place. There are some non-relatives in there, but still, it's mostly stories that got told around the campfire when I was young and growing up. And at the time, I would like to remind you, I didn't believe at that time. I thought these campfire stories were just meant to scare the kids and staying close to camp. Well, this story that I'm going to tell you right now is about one of my relatives that used to make his living by fur trapping. And yeah, I'm the great-grandson of a fur trapper. My father also fur trapped when he was younger, but eventually he went into the military, got trained as a mechanic, and made his living off of auto mechanics after that. Otherwise, I would have been still living on the Mogollon Rim, basically farming and ranching. He had gone out to go hunting. He was carrying a 30-30 Winchester. Most of you know that's a pretty good sizable gun. It's 30 caliber, and it has a pretty good wallop to it, and it makes a great deer rifle. However, it's not like a 300 Winchester Magnum or something like that. But anyway, he'd gone out hunting, basically hunting the same area that I mentioned before in the previous video about the missing buck. Lo and behold, it was just about the same area. He had made his way up the hillside to an outcropping, and he decided to climb out onto the outcropping and sit down and watch the area below him. And as he was sitting there amongst the rocks, he saw something come out of the thickets, and it was walking uprightly, and it looked like a man, but it was all black. And it was coming towards him. So he just decided to sit there and watch it for a while to see what was happening. The image, or the humanoid at that time, kept coming towards him. And he was able to make more and more definition out. And he finally realized this was not a man. It was all hair. It was wading through the snow. It had almost a human-like face, but it just wasn't human. He kind of went back and forth thinking about possibly being an old hermit or something wearing skins, bear skins or something like that. But he kept watching it as it gets closer and closer. He finally moved in the rocks there, and the creature saw him. And it let out a big bellow and started running towards him. It scared the hunter so bad that he pulled down on it, and he looked at it and made sure that he wasn't looking at a man, and he shot it dead square in the chest. It stopped it, dead stop. It staggered just a little bit, shook it off, and started pursuing the hunter again. Well, the hunter shot him again, and shot him again, and shot him again. And each time, the creature would stagger just a little bit and even get madder. Just got, just really terribly mad. Anyway, the hunter only had 20 bullets with him. That's what comes in a box. And he shot this creature 18 times, and it was getting really close. The 18th shot, it fell. When it got back up, it turned and it ran the other way. Whether or not it died, we don't know yet. We'll have to continue the story. But the hunter saved his last 2 bullets, hopefully for some kind of protection, until he could get back to his truck. And he left and went back to town, and he told his story. And there was a hunter trapper that was running some tracking dogs, so they decided to go after this creature because the guy with the dogs thought that this was a bear, and he wanted the bear hide because, you know, a single bear hide would probably allow him to earn enough money to last him most of the way through the winter. So he went after. They decided the next morning to go back out and go after the bear. They soon picked up the blood trail, and it followed it to a pond. The pond was semi-frozen over, had ice chunks in it, but they could tell that it went into the pond, and it looks like it used the cold water to stop the bleeding. And then the dogs, the hunting dogs, every time they caught the scent and started out of the pond area, this guy that wanted the bear hide pull them back and say, "No, that's not it. Do it again," you know. And the dogs would mess around the banks and stuff, and then alert and start off again, and he'd pull them back, and you know, eventually the hunter and gave up, and this guy, we believe he probably tried to go back after it. There's more to the story, but that gets into another story, and I'll save that for later.